Hey, what's up guys? Jackson here with Toasted DIY. And today we're taking a little break from the Z, but I actually was going to show you guys real quick what we got going on underneath, especially with all the rust. It's exciting, but got the new transmission in, drive shafts just about in, engines in, so yeah, you guys will get some updates on that soon. And also we'll be getting the rust and everything fixed as well, professionally, not by me. But this is my 1967 Roadster. This is a 1600 on the 311 chassis, and I decided, might as well go and make a video on this while we have like one maybe last nice day before it's completely winter. So this is a true 67. It's not a half or anything like that. Everything's pretty much original on it. There's no new body panels or anything. This is not original paint, of course. This was repainted in the, I want to say late 80s, early 90s, and actually I have a huge binder full of paperwork for it and everything. But yeah, it's a beautiful car. It's definitely my favorite car I've ever owned. Has the single mirror on the side. And then I do, of course, have aftermarket rims on it. So these are Rotas, and I believe that they're 14-inch Rotas. You can see in the front here, I actually had to put spacers, about quarter-inch spacers on for it to clear the wheel bearings up here, the hubs. But on the back, you don't have to do that because it has discs, so we're able to put the caps on. On the front you can almost get the caps on, but not quite. I mean, it's like literally a super tight fit. I'm not super worried about it though, because most people don't even notice it. I would like to eventually make them fit, but for now I'm not really too worried about it. Some really nice tires. Yeah, great shape too. Wilwood Brakes. These are they're basically the OEM, but spec'd out, sported out Wilwood disc brake calipers. They're like super tiny, like they're actually smaller than the stock ones. But they're Wilwood, so they're cooler, and it can sometimes be easier to find the pads for the Wilwoods than it is the stock ones. The stock ones you'll pay about $50 to $100 for a set of pads. So I was like, well, might as well use these performance stuff while I can get them. And I did put stainless steel braided brake lines on as well, because I had a 67.5, and I actually took some parts off that and kind of swapped them out. I got rid of the 67.5 though. It wasn't in nearly as good of a shape as this one. It's a 67 roll bar that's mounted in properly and everything, and painted black. It needs to be repainted or powder coated at some point, because this top here, it's an original soft top. It always rubs against the side because it's just so close. It's really hard to get one of these in like the perfect spot where you're not going to hit the top. The top does go up with this though. The top does close and everything. It's just not incredibly easy to get closed. So as far as the interior goes, we got all original gauges, and nothing's really been changed out on as far as gauges go. I have changed the mile per hour gauge, so that's actually not the original miles. I think it has about 67-ish on it. I have it written down so I remember, but yeah, not really too sure about that one. But we do have a Prince shift knob. I actually have a Prince key for it as well. Whoever had this before me put a lot of Prince performance, like racing parts on it and whatnot. Original steering wheel, really nice. It's actually wrapped too. I don't know who wrapped it. I think the wheel underneath is in good shape as far as I know. I've just never felt the need to take it off. We put a Bluetooth radio in here. You just have to take this really thin metal off and cut it basically. It's actually a lot harder than you would think, but we got it. All of the accessories here work, lights, fog lights and all that, heater, all that stuff works. Not that you really need the heater. We got the center console here, which is functional. Not really much purpose, but it's there. I'm trying to think as far as the interior. It's obviously aftermarket carpet. I think these are probably aftermarket door skins just because they're in really good shape. We did have like one of the most perfect gas caps I'd ever seen on one of these cars, and then one day I dropped it. Well, I didn't drop it. I accidentally left it on my bumper and drove off without it, and I came back the next day and it was there, but missing the little door, and it's all it's all scratched up. Before it was absolutely perfect. I mean, it was like probably the prettiest part on this car. But it's no big deal. Chrome in the back is all in really good shape. Overall, the car is just in really good shape. So, I'm really thankful to have it. I'll go ahead and start it up for you guys. I probably will have to start it and can't walk away from it though, because I don't think the e-brake works very well. Go ahead and turn it on. I need to start remembering to silence my phone before I make these short videos. Oh, there's the starter. See if nope, e-brake doesn't want to hold. Yeah, the e-brake needs to really be adjust it. It's super tight, but just doesn't. Well, I got it. All right, we'll count that as being held, so we'll pray it didn't go anywhere. It has the original 4-speed transmission, so this actually does not have the original engine in it. I actually put a different engine in there, and all the gauges and everything work. That was a real struggle to get those working, and that was another mod I did to this. Was I changed out. I put a voltage regulator under the dash. I replaced the original one that's mechanical and put a solid state one that actually has a display on, like an LED display. And you can change the voltage, because these gauges, mainly the fuel and I want to say oil gauge and the temperature gauge. It's either fuel and oil and temperature, just fuel and temp. They need 9 volts. They won't work with 12. They just go like, they max out, so you have to have the right voltage, but really easy mod to do. Yeah, so here's the L, well no, it's not an L actually, it's an R16, there we go. I have too many Datsuns. This is an R16 engine. It's not the original. I have the original in the shed, but as far as mods go, it just has the original Hitachi carbs on it, except I shouldn't say original. These are also came with the engine. I put a set of headers on it. They're not a great brand or anything, but they're pretty decent, and it didn't have any rust on them, so I figured, why not? And then we have these aluminum intakes here, so yeah, it's probably not going to want to rev up at all until it gets warm. This is a very warm-blooded car. If you try to rev it, especially like the winter time, you got to let it warm up for like 10-15 minutes before you can really even drive it. But it idles really smooth. I mean, this is about what you get. I put an electric fan on it, got rid of the stock mechanical fan. Didn't really need to. It's just one of those things where it made it easier to get the radiator in and out and whatnot. I was doing some work on it, especially when I did the engine swap. I just figured, why not? Fit about the biggest battery you could put in here. Kind of just guessed on the size and got a massive battery for it, but it works great though for making sure your car didn't die. Here's actually the engine chassis code and everything right there. But yeah, beautiful car. Like I said, by far my favorite. If I had to compare it to the 280Z, I don't even know. 280Z's been in my possession for way longer and had a lot more looks, but this car here though definitely takes the cake as far as like clean paint and everything goes. So we hope you guys enjoyed this little walk around. Surely I'll get a driving video and whatnot when spring comes around, but for now though, hopefully this holds you guys over. See you guys in the next one. Bye.